Now, how about them damn Celtics?
And we're back with another episode of How About Them Celtics. Sam and I are here recording Saturday, April 5th. Celtics season is winding down. They only have, I think, 5 games left at this point. 3 home games, 2 road games. Then it's playoff time. They'll get a little break for the play-in tournament, see who they're playing in the first round, then they'll kick off the postseason. It's been a minute since we've done like a full pod without a game in it, but we're here, ready to rock. And yeah, how you doing, Sam?
Yeah, we're here. Doing okay. A little tired. Fun show ahead, though. Got a ton of different Celtics topics to touch on, talk about today. So we'll go through those. We'll look at your emails, which we have a lot of because we didn't get to do a Wednesday recording this week. And then we'll go around the league, check the standings, look at some other NBA news, and then we'll do the rat list. You want to stick around through all of it because it's going to be a fun show. You can find us here if you subscribe. We're doing stuff every single day. Full pods drop Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. Game recaps are up the morning after each game. And other videos are up on the channel in between to keep you up to date with all things Celtics. You don't want to miss any of it again, so subscribe. It's going to be a lot of fun to see.
Indeed. Let's jump right into it. Let's start with Paul Pierce. Paul Pierce was on the NBC broadcast briefly during the Suns game the other day, and he talked about Jayson Tatum, among other things. And he said, when I watch Tatum on and off the court, he's humble, he works hard. I have a chance to watch him work out in LA every year. He loves the game. He has something to play for because he's probably the most disrespected superstar in our league. The motivation is always there for him. Look what they did to him at the Olympics. It seems like it's always something with Jayson Tatum that doesn't sit well with people. And year in and year out, he's first team All NBA. He's won a championship. And then there's something else. The motivation is always there for. Oh, that's just repeating the same thing. Well, yeah, like this is nothing new. This is nothing we haven't talked about a million times. But Paul Pierce was talking about it, and so it's relevant, and we'll talk about it as well. Jayson Tatum, the Celtics just put out a tweet today talking about how he should be the MVP. He's not going to win MVP, but the stats are still telling to how good he's been this season. He leads the only NBA player currently to lead his team in points, rebounds, assists, steals, and minutes. And they said Jayson Tatum for MVP, king of the fourth quarter, put out a graphic today about what players have the best or what teams have the best record when a certain team leads them in points that night. The Thunder are 51-8 with Shea when he leads them in points. Cavs are 26-6 when Mitchell leads them in points. That's the second best percentage, and Tatum is the third best percentage, and the Celtics are 33-9 when he leads them in points. So pretty good. Tatum's having a pretty good season. I would argue this is the best season he's had of his career, just from an all-around perspective. And Pierce is right. He's still disrespected usually. You're muted, sir. Yes,
Tough.
sir. We're here. Let's go. It's a gloomy day out, man. I know you've had a long day because you've been outside and doing stuff, but like even just in general, it's just rainy and it's that type of day. So I feel you.
So Tatum has been excellent this year. The playmaking has just gone up another level. We talked a little bit about it after the game last night when we were like, yeah, it was whatever Tatum game, but he had 8 assists. And, you know, when he's passing the ball like that, I think that's where you're really making your profit, right? If he's scoring, you just kind of expect the scoring at this point. It's just become the norm. He's going to get his shots to get his numbers. But when he's able to make things easier for the rest of the team, that's really what makes the Celtics great, what's made them successful. It's what carried them through the playoffs last year, despite him not being efficient scoring. He didn't shoot threes very well at all. He wasn't really the scoring monster that we've seen him be at times. So for him to have taken a step in even greater fashion this year, to become a better passer, to have great vision, to be making quick reads all the time, with the defenses throwing a couple bodies at him, is just taking things to the next level for Boston. It's been great.
Yeah, there's not enough good things you can say about Jayson Tatum at this point. We've said it a million times. Like the fact that he leads the Celtics in minutes and his refusal to sit out games. I know something you've not been pleased with at times, but
I can't decide, man. I can't decide what I think of it.
It is the best possible problem to have because it's not really a problem, right? Like he just wants to play basketball and there's no drama, there's no controversy, there's no issues. It is people don't like him because they don't think he's cool. And if that is the only problem with Jayson Tatum, then I think the Celtics are pretty happy to be in the place that they're at. I think that should be the sort of universal take. And it is what it is. Paul Pierce also threw in talking about why players in Boston get criticized. He said when this is just the like recap Hoops Hype posted. When pressed by Brian Scalabrine about whether playing in Boston led to some of that disrespect nationally, Pierce strongly agreed. He said, I think playing for the Boston Celtics, and we can go back to Bill Russell winning 11 championships. At no point did they say he was the greatest ever. It was always Wilt and Kareem. Something about people hating the city of Boston, but all we do is win, which I think it's kind of natural. People just don't like the Celtics. People don't like, the fact that they win all the time. And so it is. I think that just comes with playing in a bigger market. You're always going to be under the spotlight regardless of what's happening. So is what it is.
Yeah, he really is feeling the super bright light. Like it's almost like the Seinfeld where Newman's trying to interrogate Jerry and the light is just on him instead of Jerry, and he's sweating and he's begging to have the can of Coke. That's the type of pressure Jayson Tatum has gotten from the national media this year. And to be fair, he has been incredible, especially when it's been at its loudest. Like, I don't think I'll ever take for granted the opening night game we got from Tatum. He had 38 points. Felt like he didn't miss against the Knicks after a whole summer of just being made fun of and like being told he's lame, being made fun of for being on the bench for Team USA, wins a championship, and they just start like making things up to talk shit to him about. And he just comes out and bombs the team that everybody was like, watch out for the Knicks. Like, they're coming for the Celtics. They put this team together specifically to beat up on the Celtics. And he owned them. And he's owned them the entire season. And he showed up big time. Even the Cavs game they lost last month, he was incredible.
Yeah. I just shout out Jayson Tatum. Absolutely shout out Jayson Tatum. That is the perfect summary to wrap up, and Paul Pierce appreciates it too. Next thing, Celtics are officially the 3-point kings. In their win over the Suns, they broke the all-time record for most three-pointers made in a single season, beating out the 22-23 Warriors. They hit 1,364. I'm sure they hit more after that, but that was the three that broke the record. Pretty cool. Pretty incredible. Joe Mazzulla has coached the Celtics for 3 years, and he now owns 3 of the top 5 all-time three-point shooting seasons. Safe to say he likes a certain brand of basketball, but I also listen, Joe Mazzulla always tells us, like, we're not hunting threes, we're hunting the best possible shot. And as much as I think there's a little bit bullshit to that, because when he signed on with the Celtics, like for 6 games into his first season, he was like, I like threes, I like math. So there's an element to that. Like, there's also just the Celtics beating the shit out of the NBA on the natural progression of, oh my God, these guys are going to get easy layups if we don't take it away. And so they just give up threes. You know what I'm saying? Like, the Celtics have built a lineup that can easily beat you in one-on-one situations. And so you almost have to give up some threes, which is why they are so incredible at them, because they've also built a lineup that has 8 out of 9 of their top rotation players are elite 3-point shooters. So, or most are elite, I should say.
Listen, that's the way they're built, right? Just so, and OKC is so similar this way, where you cannot overcommit to any of these guys. I think the Celtics have more firepower at the top of the lineup, but OKC just feels incredibly deep. They've been really solid all season long. They've had these guys step up, like Aaron Wiggins played really well for them. Cason Wallace has had moments where he's played really well, and those aren't even guys you think about when you think about the Thunder. So in Boston, they've made it such a weapon to have all of the depth, all of the guys they have, and you're seeing it pay off in ways that I don't think any of us even expected, like this Payton Pritchard stuff this year, where he's probably going to win 6 Men of the Year. Not to say that Payton Pritchard hasn't put in the work to be at the level he's at, because he absolutely has. We've heard the stories. We've heard about the offseason training regimen. But at the same time, he's getting the opportunity to cook in the way that he's cooking without the spotlight on him, because of the way Jayson Tatum is willing to be unselfish, or the way that Jaylen Brown has gravity, or the way that Kristaps can just put pressure on the defense by catching the ball at the free throw line. Pritchard has gotten so many great catch and shoot opportunities, as have a lot of these guys, including the stars. And that's just because of how dominant they've proven that they can be.
Yeah, man. All-time three-point record. Like I said, it's crazy that they have 3 of the top 5 ever, and all have been under Joe Mazzulla in his 3 years as head coach. But but it just keep on marching on, man. That's just how it be for them. So Celtics are the 3-point kings. But next thing, Zach Lowe in I believe his debut back to podcasting with Bill Simmons, talked a little bit about Al Horford. And I just thought it was an interesting quote. He said, "It ultimately died on the vine, but I started calling people, Jakeem Noah, Kyle Korver, Billy Donovan, Kenny Atkinson, Mike Budenholzer, suspecting that they were all watching the finals with more emotional investment than you'd expect, considering the distance between them and Al Horford. And they were all dying for him to finally win a championship. I mean, they were over the moon for him. Billy Donovan was texting me from Europe, like, do you need a quote? Here's one. They just love the guy. Every stop of his career, all those people were watching the finals thinking this guy deserves to win a championship. And you just don't see that as much anymore. Just there's not too much to describe here outside of just like there are a few players in the NBA universally beloved as Al Horford is, outside of Philadelphia, I suppose. But by and large, like if you talk to anybody, like any person who plays for the NBA or does anything, you ask about Al Horford, even fucking Joel Embiid, I bet would be like, yeah, it just didn't work, but he's a great team. Like he's the perfect teammate. He's been a phenomenal player at every step of his career. Joe Mazzulla was asked about like Al's up for like Team of the Year award or something. He was like, yeah, obviously, like duh. Just shout out Al Horford, man. That's all this is. Shout out Al Horford.
Yeah, I mean, we all could have reported this. The report would be Al Horford rocks per source. Did you see the picture of Joel Embiid at the Phillies game?
No.
So it's like him, Tyrese Maxey, and they might even have gotten Paul George out there. And Embiid's standing behind everybody. And he just looks like they plucked him out of a PS3 game. Like he looks like he's like the graphics haven't quite caught up.
Is this
yet.
real? It is real though.
I think it's real. I can't
It
find
looks
it now
so
that I've
fake.
searched it.
I have it up on the screen.
Okay,
it looks
yeah.
so fake. It does look very fake. But
Yeah, he's there.
wait. But in this, maybe I guess he just took off his.
Maybe this person is like, it's actually different games. Like, why is he here every time?
Oh, why do I end up at the same Phillies games as Joel Embiid? I see. Yeah, that is definitely a suspicious picture.
As I say, I wonder if they booed him when they put him up on the thing.
He's probably there. Anyways, Al Horford,
who's not going to get booed on the jumbotron, probably ever.
Definitely not. Definitely not.
He's the man. I continue to be happy for Al.
Mm-hmm. I always wonder how long he's actually going to play because, like, he can't play forever.
He's going to do Tom Brady.
Oh, man. Like, I don't believe that he's going to play for like 10 years, but he's just so like in shape. Like he's just so unbelievably in shape. Man, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen, but I guess we'll have to see, man. I dread the day that Al Horford retires. Is my point. Like I truly
he just doesn't feel replaceable.
I know.
Like I don't think we've had this thing looming in Boston for really since he came back. Because he came back and we're all like, well, he's old, and they make the 22 finals, and we're like, damn, they really fucked up the chance to win it for him. And then we started to be like, well, is Grant the guy? Is Grant going to be the guy that takes on that kind of responsibility going forward? And it wasn't Grant. So then they trade for Kristaps, and we're like, oh, what if it's Kristaps? Like, he can post up. He clearly can't defend the way Horford does, so that's not the answer. Oh, maybe it's this guy Tillman. Like, he's still relatively young. He can learn from Horford. He shoots threes a little bit. He's got a similar body type. He can defend pretty well. Nope, he just fell out of the rotation completely. So there's just no replacing Al Horford. It's plain and simple.
Yeah, no, there is nothing that they can do to replace that man, which is a scary thing because they're gonna have to try, right? Like we talked about how this year's draft is gonna be so important because like they need to find a player, but then you hear stuff like this from Zach Lowe of like, oh yeah, look how universally loved that guy is. There is no replacing that. It's impossible to replace that. You can look for it and hope to find a guy with this good character, but shout out Al Horford, man. He rocks. That's not a secret. But before we go on to the next thing, I need to tell you guys about PrizePicks. PrizePicks is the best place to get real money sports action this basketball season, this baseball season, this anything season. You just pick more or less on at least 2 different selections, and you can start watch the winnings roll in, unless you're us, and we're not very good at it. But regardless, it's over 10 million members, billions of dollars in award winnings. PrizePicks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. Springtime's here. Baseball season's underway. You make sure to check out select players. You can pick strikeouts, RBIs, first inning runs, anything like that. You can mix and match players too. So if you want to take strikeouts with one thing, and points in basketball with another, you can pick that. That's fun as well. Offers weekly promotions too, like Taco Tuesday, where they discount select player projections up to 25% to give you even more value. Sam and I do the PrizePicks on the pregame shows. We're not very good at it historically. You can come watch us make a fool out of ourselves anyway. It's a fun time. Download the app
It was
today.
Henry
And use
last
code
time.
CLNS. Download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Again, download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, run your game.
Guy probably fell asleep making the lineup.
Clearly.
Just
He
he fell
did
on the
not-
keyboard and clicked 3 of them.
Did not do a good enough job. Payton Pritchard signed with Converse officially. He was wearing Jalen shoes earlier in the season, but I can only assume that Converse threw him a bag and he was like, yeah, I'll take the bag. I'll sign with Converse.
Maybe
Payton fair enough.
Payton was like online, like reading stuff, watching Celtics podcasts, and was like, I think all these people are actually right. Like Jalen shouldn't be playing because he's hurt. Fuck him. I'm signing with Converse. Can you imagine? That
Jared
definitely
Weiss
did not happen.
Jared Weiss put it out. Pritchard joins SGA and Kelly Oubre as the Boston Brand's signature NBA players. Pritchard said, as a player, I'm always looking for ways to push the boundaries of what's possible, and Converse shares that same mindset. Excited to join the Converse basketball family and help inspire the next generation of athletes to find their voice and express themselves on and off the court. The most PR statement you'll ever read. I will say, would be kind of sick if they gave Pritchard his own shoes. Would be kind of cool.
Got them PPs on my feet. Yeah. I would buy them.
Indeed. I don't know, though. I feel like SGA surely has his own shoes, right?
Yeah, he does. Remember we looked at them and they look like Tim's?
Are they ugly?
Yeah, they're terrible looking.
Oh, let me look. I got to look it up now.
They're like dark beige. Like I think they're meant to look like Tim's, and they don't look good.
Let me see. Men shoes, basketball shoes. Let's see.
The original Chucks are up there.
Yeah, where are the Shays? These don't look like Shays.
No, ain't nobody want to wear Shays. I don't know.
Yeah,
do they have like is that Shea over there on the bottom right of the ad?
Let me see. Excuse me, I don't think so.
No, that's not him.
Oh, sorry, I found it. Sorry, first signature shoe, coming this fall. He doesn't actually have them yet, or he does. They're in like the look.
They're
right
like in the pre-marketing stage.
Yeah,
they're hideous.
Right here.
They're
they're ugly. They're really ugly, but whatever. Anyways,
and I don't like to be negative.
Last Celtics thing before the email. Cooper Flagg is drawing the Jayson Tatum comp officially. That's been like one of the top comparisons for him. Cooper Flagg. I pulled this off of Hoops Hype, so I apologize. The comps I've been seeing are Jayson Tatum, Kawhi Leonard, and then there's like floor, ceiling, etc. There's like Lamar Odom, Scottie Pippen, Andre Kirilenko, like that brand of player. I just think it's interesting to see the type of guys that he's being compared to. I don't know. I said this to my roommates the other day, and this isn't like a knock on Jayson Tatum. I think Cooper Flagg has a chance to be like Jayson Tatum with even better defense. And Jayson Tatum's a great defender, but I think Cooper Flagg's like an incredible, like a world-changing defender. Which I don't know. That's not saying like I don't think he's going to step in the league and be better than Jayson Tatum. But if he hits his progression as well as he can, and I don't think he's quite as good a shooter as Tatum. I don't think he's quite as good a playmaker as Jayson Tatum. Like, he's got a lot of room to grow, but like the outline's there. Like that's all I'm saying.
I think if you're comparing him to Jayson Tatum this early, like not good. No aura. Probably will get benched if he ever plays in the Olympics. Won't have any kind of like witty things to say if he ever does win a championship. So if I was an NBA executive, I probably wouldn't draft him until like pick 28. Anything sooner than that would feel like a reach. So I don't think anybody should even be thinking about him. The Duke Final Four run is clearly fluky. Like, ooh, congratulations. You did what you were supposed to do as a 1 seed and made it all the way to the Final Four. Like, tell me when you win a title. Even then, like, you're just playing against college players. Play against the best in the world. Prove something to us. You know?
I have nothing to say.
I'm so mad they can't get him. Like, there's
I've
no like
responded-
real way.
I have not responded to this bit for like 20 times in a
That's
row.
okay.
It's still.
I hope one person listening to this does enjoy it. I think we all should be spreading propaganda to be like, this guy's actually not good, and like really trying hard not to convince the GMs. When James Jones walked by us yesterday, we should have been like, hey, just in case you're thinking about it, we heard Cooper Flagg's really terrible.
I have nothing for you. I have nothing. Yeah, I don't know. Cool comps. Interesting to see him compared to Tatum. Let's go to email here. Reminder as always, you guys can email us at hbtcpod@gmail.com. That's hbtcpod@gmail.com. Let's start with RJ. RJ says, if winning makes everything pretty, is from 5 days ago. It's been a minute. Sweeping a 6-game road trip is utterly beautiful. Evening, folks. Don't have much to add to the Memphis win. Tillman got 3 threes in 7 minutes. No. He missed it. Tillman didn't make a 3. Sure. Tatum, D. White, and Pritchard got a combined 6 of 28 from long distance. Hey, Al gets 26 points, and JT is close behind with 25. D. White, he racks up 10 assists. No JB, no Luke, no problem. 56-19. Can't wait for the playoffs. Be well. RJ. Yeah, Memphis was good. I mean, it's been a minute, so, but yeah.
One oversight we did have when talking about the road trip was like, oh yeah, we forgot that they come home and just lay an egg every time they go out on the road and play well. It really has just been a weird trend this year. I don't know if it's like they almost relax a little bit or they don't care or whatever it may. I think don't care is just the wrong way to look at it. But they've just made an unbelievable habit of going to the Garden after kicking ass all over the country and just being like, yeah, no, we don't really have it today. And they did a good job responding against Phoenix. Like, I'm not trying to discredit that because that was a good win, but just weird behavior. And then if they do that in the playoffs, it's going to drive me fucking bananas.
It is weird. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really have a response. It's just an odd trend. I think you're right, but
maybe they should keep the same routines as when they're on the road. Like, they should actually stay in a hotel just to lock in.
I don't know if they'd be on board with that.
They all have to take a bus to the game.
No. Jacob Lindholm says, planning for the future. G'day, Jack and Sam. Long-time listener, first-time emailer. Thanks, Jacob. I want to give you my thoughts and pose a hypothetical for y'all to mull over about possible trades or moves to be done post-championship. I feel like the new owner wants either KP Drew or JB. That the best course of action is to obviously see who calls and what they offer. But personally, with the white boys and Peyton, Hauser, and Baylor, you can stand to lose Drew right now, all being several picks or a low caliber player and picks. However, I also feel like the scouts see that there's a stretch big in this or next year's draft. I could see signing Luke to an extension and moving off KP. Don't get me wrong, I love him, but health and longevity have been concerns, and getting young, talented players to fill those gaps should keep them competitive while cutting costs. Finally, the hypothetical, if Bill were to reach out to you guys and say, I need JB traded, would you go for a replacement player with picks like a guy like Laurie from the Jazz, or try to get as many first rounders as you can to set up the future a la Gobert? Love to hear your all's thoughts. Keep up the great content. Loyal listener, Jacob. Well, thank you, Jacob. I'll let you answer first regarding all 3 points, but we can discuss.
I mean, it's an obvious crossroads they're going to have to deal with. If Chisholm is really afraid of all the tax penalties, which I'm sure he is, because they haven't really been quiet about that since the sale went. Like Wick went on the radio and was like, yeah, terrifying basketball penalties ahead here, so we have to pay attention to that. It feels like it's going to be Drew, just to me, because it feels like he is the most replaceable. Like, if you get rid of Kristaps, Luka's great. You don't know how long Al's going to stay around, so you're left, hypothetically, with Luke as your best big guy, which is fine, but you don't have much behind him at this point. If it's Drew, you have Pritchard still. If you're really high on Shireman, which we've read that they are, I think Jake Fisher put it out in the Steinline insider piece that they are very high on Shireman. They like him. It makes it a little bit easier to move off of a guard, especially if you want to play Shireman that way too. Like, he's a big body that can hopefully switch. Like, more than me, his defense has looked really good since, the All-Star break. He's looked really confident, sticking with guys, keeping in their face. He's not Drew Holiday, but he's been solid. So you can feel pretty good about that. I don't know if Jalen's going to get traded. I lean 95% no. If they're really afraid of anything with the knee, maybe. At the same time, I think selling Lowe on an injury is bad here. And I think that's what it would be.
I think, unfortunately, that can't be as much in the equation as people want it to be. Because, like, if they sell Jalen, it's not because they don't like Jalen. It's probably because, like, they just need to fix the cap. And so I don't think the knee's going to play a big part in that decision, unfortunately. My thing is, if I'm trading Drew, I don't know how many picks you're going to be able to get back for Drew. Like, I think certain teams around the league will very much value him because I think he's proven to still be an effective player. But I think teams might also be afraid of the Marcus trade with the Drew. So we'll have to see what they can get for that. KP, again, I don't know how many teams are dying to trade for KP. Teams would probably like to trade for JB. The tricky part is the point is shedding salary, so you would need to get smaller contracts and 1-year contracts or whatever. If it's me, 2 solid role players, ideally on the younger side, and a couple 2 to 3 draft picks. I don't know what that is. When we talked about it briefly last year, I like Jalen Suggs a lot. If they can make that happen, but even he makes
sailed, I think.
Huh?
I feel like the Jalen Suggs ship would have sailed by now. I think they like what they have in him.
Maybe, but
he's hurt right now. And if you really buy into like them being fearful of that going forward, then you can see it. But before he went down this year, he was generating a lot of buzz. Like, he was playing really well for Orlando.
But if you're looking at the Magic and you're like, okay, what can we do to give this team some much needed offense? Trading Suggs for Jaylen Brown is like probably an understandable thing. Past that, I don't really know. Like, Laurie, fine. I don't really love the Laurie train. If you want to talk me into like Colin Sexton, Taylor Hendricks, and like 3-4 firsts, that would really cut your salary down, and I wouldn't hate it. But it's still like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the tough part is there's just not a lot out there, because if the goal is cutting costs, you're gonna not get the players who are getting paid the money for how good they are. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a tough situation. I don't envy Brad. So it's just a matter of what they want, how they want to handle it, and then going from there. So
you think? I don't know if they would do it with the money. So bear with me if I'm just speaking so out of pocket.
Sure.
Do you think Minnesota would like peek their head around the corner at this? A Drew thing? With Mike Conley continuing to age?
I think they will. They are a second apron team.
Right. And they traded Cat to get away from that. Holiday makes more
money.
And
the Celtics are also a second apron team.
Oh, so it would have to be a 1-for-1 swap. Julius Randle's coming to town.
Well, no, because Julius Randle makes more money than Drew Holiday. So
So it would have to be an exact match. Oh no, that's not good.
It's impossible. It's
they actually should just get rid of this. It's ruined my fun. That's for sure.
It's hard, man. The Drew teams around the league, in my opinion, and this is a very brief look. I haven't examined anything. It's without taking into account off season. It's without taking into account what else could happen around the league, right? I think you look at the Grizzlies, ironically, because they just went down the rabbit hole. So maybe they don't want to do it again.
Just keep falling for it. They get the Fell For It Again award.
I kind of like the Warriors.
Sure.
They want this one last run type of thing. Don't know what it would be.
They can't get Jimmy. For those listening, please don't tell yourself they can get Jimmy. I'm trolling.
You know who could really use a Drew Holiday?
The Milwaukee Bucks.
The Milwaukee Bucks.
That's been the case ever since he left. I don't know why.
I don't hate the Warriors. I don't know what it would be that they give up, that like they would be willing to give up. So it's hard. I don't know what the salary they could do would be.
This is actually the hardest thing we've ever done.
Worry about the Kuminga contract extension they have to use. Um, if they want to do it like Drew Holiday to the Magic, but I don't think that helps their offense. You can think of like Drew Holiday to the Thunder if they don't win, but I don't know if the Celtics want to trade with the team they're probably competing against in the finals, right? You can think about Drew Holiday to the Nuggets if they want some extra defense at that position, but then what would the trade package be? You can think about Drew Holiday to the Spurs if they want to add another smart guy in the backcourt as Chris Paul inches towards retirement. But then again, what are they doing? Are you taking like Devin Vassell's contract? I don't like that. Are you taking on a year of Harrison Barnes and then the project player of a Jeremy Sohan or Malachi Branham? Like maybe, but it's just there's not a ton out there. It's just a lot of question marks, I think.
With the Jalen thing, just to tie it all together, the fun thing about us being like, what if they traded Jalen? Is at least in the current league year, which will not be the case when we talk about this.
Yeah,
nobody makes more money than Jalen. So the possibilities are actually endless in the trade machine.
indeed. I don't know. We'll see, man. Before we go to the next email, I need to tell you about Gametime. Gametime, best place for all your ticketing needs this baseball season, this basketball season, this anything season. Because it's not just sporting events. Gametime is way, way more than that. Concerts, comedy shows, supercross events, anything you can possibly, anything your heart desires is on Gametime. Let's check it out here. Gametime. Let's go. Let's find an event we haven't looked at yet in a while. Let's go to. Ooh, this is hot. Last call for Snow Patrol. Let's take a look.
Snow Patrol.
They sing "Chasing Cars."
I don't know.
Do you know that song? You know "Chasing Cars," right, Shirley?
I don't think so.
Whatever. Regardless, this one, MGM Music Hall at Fenway Park. You can see exactly where your seat will be in the venue for that type of show. So right here, if I click on a seat, click on something, you can see what what it'll look like from that section. The fire emblem means it's the cheapest ticket.
This is for tonight.
Yeah, the largest star means it's a super deal. So by the time you're listening to this, no longer
can't go to the show anymore. Sorry, guys.
Get the point. All these features are phenomenal for no matter what event you're trying to go to. You can also toggle on and off the feature of seeing the fees while you're purchasing the tickets, so you won't be surprised at checkout with any hidden fees. On top of that, with Gametime, you get the lowest price guarantee, or Gametime will credit you 110% of the difference, and Gametime ticket coverage, which means your purchase is covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Gametime Picks. Download the Gametime app, create an account, and use code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CLNS for $20 off. Download Gametime today. What time is it? Gametime. Back to your guys' emails. Excuse me. I have to adjust the timesheet here. Email. All right. Next email we got is from RJ, who says the least sexy interview suggestion. Morning, folks. Is it possible to interview Mike Zarin? Not about who he's going to is or isn't going to sign, but to ask him about the day-to-day aspects of cap management. It would be a refreshing change of pace from social media, spitballing trades. Be well, RJ. RJ, I'd love to talk to Mike Zarin. I just don't think that's going to happen.
I wish we had Paul. Shout out to Mr. T. Cam to bat to buy. Did you see this? Did you check the chat today to see this? Just interviewed Kristaps in the back of a car. Just an absolute dog. Shout out to Cam. The most elite schmoozer networking person I've ever seen in my life. It's unbelievable, insane. That guy.
It's insane. Shout out Cam. All right. Next email we got is one that you can't see. So I hope you didn't look at this. Philip sent us an email. He said, for Jack only, read ahead of time. And I did. Hi, Jack. This is a game I thought you and Sam might like to play. I call it You Don't Know Jack. Basically, you read and answer the following questions ahead of time. Then when you're doing the emails, have Sam try to guess your answers to see if he knows Jack or if he don't know Jack. Essentially, this is the Newlywed Game from the 60s, and it could be worth. And then he gave me the 10 questions and said, then Sam can have a score out of a 10. Let's say a score of 7 or more constitutes knowing Jack. Okay. You get to decide if the answers are correct or not. Please don't do this if you think it will take too much time, etc. I just thought it would be fun and could potentially generate some discussion. If you end up liking it, I can make one for Sam to do, and you try to guess his answers. All the best, Phil. P.S. I would totally drop a voicemail rant every now and then. I think we got to cook something up. So I have these 10 up. I haven't like gone through with my answers, but they're basic enough questions where I can think of them. So let me actually just jot them down quick. I'll jot them down as I ask, and you can monologue.
This is going to be a great off-season thing too.
Oh yeah. So the first question is, what is your favorite food? So this is about me. So what is my favorite food?
Okay.
So you can go ahead. I have an answer. God,
I would have said, I'm going to say a chicken sandwich, Chick-fil-A. You were getting Chick-fil-A every single day for a long time.
So very true. However, I am like the type of person, if I eat something too much, it falls out. I haven't had a Chick-fil-A sandwich in like a long time, right?
Yes.
So I was actually thinking about this today. Do you guess again, or you want to guess once and I tell you an answer?
This one I'll guess once on.
Okay, guess once, chicken sandwich. I would say sushi. I really like sushi a lot. And I think it's because I don't have it that often. So when I do have it, you know what I'm saying? Like I really, yeah. Damn. Sushi's like special. Sushi or tacos. I would have taken either. Those are like my top two. Love sushi, love tacos. Really, really good. Okay. 2, people often misunderstand this about you. This is like very subjective, very like, if you give me something that I'll be like, yeah, I'll give it to you. Because there's like, you know what I'm saying? Like there's a million different things you could probably come up with.
People commonly misunderstand your relationship with Noah.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, no. Excuse me. I'll give it to you. I don't know what my like,
which is a good friendship for those listening and that are curious.
Indeed. Excuse me. No, that's a pretty good answer. I'll give you.
What would be something else that you would say?
Man, what would be something else that I would say? I don't know, man. I'm a very like anxious person. You probably know this. I'm like terrified. A lot of anxiety about a lot of things.
I know you're a motherfucker too, which is one of my favorite qualities that you have.
What do you mean?
Jack is like the nicest guy ever, but he's super competitive.
Quietly, very quietly.
Yes. And I really like that. It gets me fired up. I said it before. I'm like the fucking Emperor Palpatine. Like anytime somebody's like giving negative like anger, I'm like, yes. My girlfriend does. I'm like, yes. Good job.
Yeah, very quietly. What animal annoys you the most? I do have an answer for this. Once I say it, you're going to be like, oh, yeah.
So my knee jerk would be Duke destroying the house, but that's not it. But it's an honorable mention. I feel like it's like geese.
It is geese.
Yeah.
I fucking hate geese. Geese are the worst, man. On the golf course, in the commons. Geese
That's
are like...
right. Every year when summer comes around, you rat list the geese, and then I'm like, hey, have you ever seen the Curb clip of him killing the swan?
I loved it.
Yes.
Listen, man, I stand by this, and I'm, like Sam says, I'm a very like positive person. If geese were just like eradicated one day, great.
Yeah.
No need. No need for geese. If you could go on a free 1-month vacation to another country, what other country would you visit? This is hard. I don't even know if I have.
1 month's a long time.
Yeah, I have a couple answers, 2 to 3 answers, and if you say any of them, I'll give it to you because I don't actually like have it nailed down.
1 month. I think you would probably want to go to Australia.
Yeah, that's one of them. I think Australia would be cool.
That's one of the ones like in 1 month I could just see it being worth it. I also sneaky think I don't think you're gonna agree with this one, but Canada's another one that is just so big that you could just be like, oh, like I can go to Montreal and Toronto, and I can go to Vancouver, and I can see like their like Midwest.
The 3 that I jumped to, Australia, Japan, because it's so different,
so far.
Iceland, I think would be kind of
Iceland
cool.
for a month, huh?
It would be a little weird, but I think it'd be cool to experience. Those are the 3. Okay. I don't know what you're shooting right now.
I think I'm 3 of 4.
I think, I'll give you 3 of 4. Yeah.
Doing pretty
Okay,
well.
5. If you could have TD Garden courtside tickets to one NBA regular season game, which team would be against the Celtics? Ooh. Let me think. Don't answer yet. What team would I want to watch courtside against the Celtics? This is weird because I don't know. This is like a weird question for me to answer. Okay. I have an answer, but I'm not like super passionate about the answer, but I have an answer.
My guess would be Denver. Just so you'd see Jokic.
Not
close
Denver. I think it'd be Steph Curry close up. I think I'd see the
Okay.
rings.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, I think I'd go with that.
That's
Steph
a good
Curry.
question.
I think that's cool. That is a good question. Thank you. This is cool, Philip. This is fun. 6. What part of your job do you dislike the most?
Probably talking to me.
Let me think. Okay, I have an answer. If you're in the ballpark, I'll give it to you.
I think it's a combination of like the really, really late nights editing and also like having to scrape the bottom of the barrel for things to write or talk about.
Yeah,
I know
I'll
I
give it to you.
gave like 3 answers,
No,
but
no.
I just
The
think
first one
that's
you
what
gave.
it is.
The late nights kill me, and the secondary part is like, it is Saturday, and all my friends are hanging out, and we just like there are no days off. Truly, like you truly
Yeah,
don't
there's no
really
days
get
off.
days off, and that's partially the way we decide to do things. But I think it's valuable anyways. But sometimes that's a little annoying, so the schedules get fucked. But I'll give you that too. So you're what now? 4 of 6. Yeah, 4 of 6.
Yeah, I've got
If it were
2.
possible to add one bench player from another team to the Celtics, who would you add? Has to be currently off a team's bench. Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh,
This is a hard one.
that's a really hard question. Oh man, I wish I had answered these for now because I wish I didn't, and because we truly do not look at the emails before the show. So I saw this as we were like going through the other emails. But I will pick one. And now Sam will know to look out for this email when you do it for him too. So we'll be better prepared next time. But looking at people who have come off the bench, I'm gonna just get a filter players who have come off the bench for at least like let's call it like 50 games this season.
Yeah.
And pick from those. Okay, looking through quickly, who would I choose to come off this up? This is such a like unique question. Man, that's hard. The Celtics already have such a good bench that it's really tough to like nail down who I would pick. Man, what a great question you had here. I'm gonna think of 3 just because I think it's hard for you to like
To do one.
Yeah, nail down one exactly. But I will. All right, I have 3.
Okay.
I have 3.
Okay. So my first guess is Caruso.
No, that's a good answer though. I didn't think of that. That's a good answer. I think it's because I don't know if he's played in 50 games. I think he's
he definitely had like when I thought of it, I was like, oh, he's not going to be on the list. But
That's
maybe.
a great answer. That's a great answer. Shit, that's a great answer.
I mean,
It's
it's
hard.
such low hanging fruit because he's like the other 6-man guy, but Malik Beasley would be a good one.
Yeah, that was one of the 3. Yeah, it's just too easy, but it's so true. So I'll give it to you, but you can try to guess another if you like. I mean, I have 2 more that were backups, but also I picked.
Oh man, I feel like it's gonna be somebody off of Houston. No,
I'll tell you, Naz Reid. Like they have 2 bigs, but he's
him,
too good. Like it's not. And then Isaiah Joe on the Thunder is also really fucking good and just like one of the best shooters in the league. So I'll go with those, but I'll give it to you. So you are at 5 of 7 right now.
Yeah.
Okay, 8. Blank is ruining basketball.
Media.
Yeah. Bang. Free. Easy. The shitty national
We're all
media
trying to find the guy
basketball.
who did this.
Shitty national media is absolutely ruining basketball. If I had to pick I'll give you the point, but if I had to pick an in-game thing,
the
one
charge.
of my biggest, yeah, step in charges, I think are really fucking lame. And I think like you can't ban charges, but you need to police it better. Yeah. Okay, good. 9. If Joe Mazzulla left basketball today to pursue inner peace, which current NBA head coach would you replace him with?
Have to be employed.
man. Yeah, we'll say it has to be currently employed. And again, I'll think of 3 just because it's hard.
All right, I'll let you think for a minute before I say one before you have the chance to think of it.
I think. Okay. I think I already got it. To be honest.
JJ.
Yes, that's one. See if you can go 3 for 3.
JJ probably Dagnall.
Yep, 2.
And
maybe you won't get this one.
Don't hint me. I just want to think about this for a moment. I have one that I thought it was, but it definitely isn't. Or I thought of, but it definitely isn't.
Who?
I thought Mike Malone would be a good one, but I just don't think that would be it for you.
I didn't choose him, no.
I actually think you might like Jordy Fernandez.
Oh, that's a good one. No.
I thought I got it.
Ty Lue, Clippers.
Ty Lue's a good one.
Lue's great. Eric Spoelstra would be another great answer.
Oh, Spoelstra. How did I not even think of Spoelstra?
I didn't think of it either because I didn't even consider the possibility that he would
imagine Spoelstra turns his back on the Heat.
Okay, you are
8
7 of 9.
I missed 2.
7 of 9. So last one. If you could wave a magic wand and instantly have a Celtics player reach their full potential, who would you choose?
Chireman.
Yeah, that's one of the 2 answers. Well,
him or probably Luke, but or Tillman. Yeah,
Tillman.
Yeah.
Yeah, Shireman or Tillman, I think is free. Yeah, you did good. 8 out of 10. The only ones you got wrong are favorite food and
and I had a good answer for favorite food. I missed it.
You had a good answer for sure. And then what is
courtside
tickets. You picked Nuggets. I was Warriors. W. Thank you, Philip. Send this one for Sam. I feel like I'm not gonna do as good as Sam. But we'll see. Last one, RJ says JB's knee. Morning, folks. Let's put things into perspective. So far, Jalen's knee isn't KG's knee. It's not even Tillman's knee. Celtics have no reason to disclose the full extent of the injury, really any injury. Why give opponents free information? Watching JB's performance on offense on Friday was encouraging.
Yes.
When he knew what he wanted to do, he was able to manage things. He moved more deliberately, but that's not a bad thing. JB doesn't need to finish explosively inside, just strong, and he had that. On defense, the need to switch directions decisively. So what seems to be lacking as he manages his discomfort. Since bone bruises take weeks or months to fully heal up, I wouldn't be surprised to see JB conserving his energy unless he needs to dial it up. Now more than ever, be well, RJ. Yeah, I mean, we talked about it last night on the show, but yeah.
He was just so sad. He's just so sad.
I felt bad, man.
I feel bad for I really like Jalen. Like, he just seems like a good dude. And I hate that he has to just we're all curious, we're talking about it. I don't think we should not talk about it. It just kind of sucks that that's the nature of this, where it's, hey, your knee hurts. What do you think? He's probably fucking heated that his knee hurts.
Yeah, he's probably not thrilled. Anyways, time for the NBA. Let's check out the NBA standings here. Reminder. No reminder. Not a reminder, Jack. Fucking idiot.
A reminder to watch every single video.
Yeah, watch all. Please, God, help. I'm spazzing out. NBA. Cavs still in first place in the Eastern Conference. Celtics in second game, 5 games back. Knicks in third. Pacers, Pistons, Bucks. Pacers have separated themselves a little bit. They're 3 games ahead of the Pistons now. Pistons and Bucks are still tight in this 5-6. Magic, Hawks, Bulls, Heat. Everyone is locked into where they are locked into. The top 6 are locked into the top 6. 7 through 10 is locked into 7 through 10. We could see just a little movement in there, but we've got a decent idea of who's going to be where. Raptors, Nets, Sixers, Hornets, Wizards, all out of the playoffs. Now that it's finally happened, we all kind of knew what a crazy, unlucky / disaster season from the Sixers. I don't think any of us could have foreseen it being this bad going into the year.
Yeah, the season for Philly is rough, man. To be honest with you, this is good. It's good for them. I said it before the season. I was like, if I could pick any season, in hindsight, I don't think I would pick this season for the Celtics. But if I could pick any season to just have it be a dumpster fire, this would be it. There's actually a good prize waiting for you at the end of the rainbow. The top 6 of this draft is very good. Unless they lose their draft pick, They are in pretty good shape. They're going to get a quality player to add to a team with Embiid coming back, with Paul George, despite his overpaidness, coming back, Maxey coming back. They have a decent roster. Adding depth is not going to hurt them. It's going to be a blessing in disguise. And just before we move completely away from this, Pistons playing Memphis tonight, Bucks playing against Miami. So the standings could look a little different by the time you wake up. If the Pistons lose and Milwaukee wins, then Milwaukee would be 5. I think that's the one I'm rooting for. I would like to see Pistons Knicks round 1. I just think that's the most fun possible series. And you also get the Bucks Pacers like renewed. They played each other last year. They had the in-season tournament. They had Giannis trying to steal the ball from the dude that scored his first points. Like just a really, really good like buildup of a feud here. To have him meet in the playoffs for a second straight year would be a lot of fun. And I'm in on that. That would be great. We do know exactly who will not be in the playoffs now. All of them are eliminated. We know exactly who will be playing in the postseason. We just don't know where.
Indeed, we do. And we'll have to see from there on out. Looking at the West, we still don't know. Thunder have run away. Thunder cannot get 70 wins. That's the news. Rockets are looking like they'll stay in that 2 seed. For now, it's more than likely. Lakers, Nuggets, Warriors still fighting for the 3, 4, 5. Timberwolves are in the mix a little bit as well, as are the Clippers and the Grizzlies. Grizzlies who have fallen down to 8th place in the blink of an eye because of being 3-7 in their last 10. So that's kind of crazy. Mavs have surged ahead of the Suns, as have the Kings. Kings are 2 games ahead of the Suns. Mavs are 2.5 games ahead of the Suns because Anthony Davis has come back. And then you got the Blazers, Spurs, who are still in it, but not really in it. West continues to just shift day by day, man.
So we're a half game from Lakers Clippers round 1. Yes. I was talking to a guy today that's from out there. He's like, I'm a Lakers fan. I was like, oh, I'm really rooting for Lakers Clippers round 1 of the playoffs. Like, never been LA in a playoff series. They have 2 arenas now. You have the wall. It would be incredible. Like the Clippers are playing good basketball right now where like I think the Lakers would be favored, but like it would probably be a competitive series. That would
I think the Clippers. I think I'd pick the Clippers.
You would pick them? Really?
Yeah.
I don't think I've watched enough Clippers this year, at least at full strength, to feel strongly about them.
I don't feel strongly, but if you like put a gun to my head, maybe I think I would pick LA.
The Lakers have been shaky lately, of course. Like 5-5 in their last 10.
You see all the stuff on Twitter
of what?
People are like, "Can we redo the trade?"
No, they
back.
Really? Because he's just not playing well.
He's just super inefficient. Doesn't play defense.
He hasn't been really good, and he doesn't play defense. I've seen like the numbers being posted of like his last couple games haven't been really good, and he's been
it's funny
on a scoring slump, stuff like that.
It's funny to think the discourse around Luka Doncic will never be the same. Never.
No. He's he's like low key like fucked because he's in the spotlight now. And I said this when the trade happened. It's been what, 2 months or something? Like not very long. So there's plenty of time to figure out what's going to happen with Luka, and he has plenty of time to figure himself out. But if getting cooked by Wendy for 3 minutes on live Sports Center in the finals wasn't enough to motivate you to get in better shape, I really don't know what is going to be. Like this is, I mean, I guess like this should motivate him, and he seems like he's had a chip on his shoulder at times, but really hasn't been quite consistent enough for me to feel great about it. The Lakers still like made out like bandits, got a free guy, gonna have him for a while, gonna sign him to a supermax. He's gonna play there forever, and they're gonna get marketability out of it at the very least, which is something that they clearly care about. They've been paying LeBron and doing whatever he wants for the last several years. Like they're fine with that, and good for them, I guess. But it's gonna take some time for them to get the right roster there. And also, like with Luka, I can clown on Luka all I want and be like he's fat and is out of shape and doesn't play defense, which are all true things. But it doesn't dispute, like, in the playoffs, he has been successful. Like, if you think about the way we've talked about the Celtics in years past, where it's like, yeah, Tatum has made the conference finals like this many times and made the finals in 2022. Like, Luka has a similar resume. He hasn't been as prominently featured in the playoffs, but he's had a pair of deep playoff runs with a pretty young team. It's nothing to sneeze at.
Yeah, Luka's been fine in the playoffs, man. I mean, I don't think it's fair to completely dump on him. Obviously, he doesn't play defense, and that's why I think players like Jason Tatum and other guys who are two-way players, are better than him. Tatum, Shea, those guys, but we'll see. I still think the Lakers made the right move for the long term, regardless. So,
Oh yeah,
I don't think that's a hot take.
they were almost
Next
dead.
thing.
Like
I
that's
know.
what sucks about that is like you were like, oh man, like LeBron will retire, AD won't be enough. Like they're going to be mediocre for a while again. It's in a
LeBron,
rock.
who's probably going to be first team All NBA this year, by the way.
Yeah, probably. Their record is like good enough to, or their finish will probably be good enough where you're like, yeah, like they won enough games.
Makes sense. Okay. Next thing, NBA. Kevin Durant, rumored team. Shams put out something recently talking about the teams that showed interest in him at the deadline and how all of them are expected to
It's not this one. Celtics.
No, not the Celtics. And he said that they're all expected to continue to show interest in Kevin Durant this summer. Listed the Spurs, the Rockets, the Timberwolves, the Knicks, and the Heat all pursued Durant in February, and all are expected to do the same this summer. So,
Knicks, huh? What happened? I thought they had the perfect team.
They're perfect, man. Listen,
That'll
is
be
very
interesting
much
to watch this summer. They do have enough big contracts where they can be like
OG, Mitchell Robinson, or Mikal
what
and
if we
Mitchell
gave you them?
Robinson. Yeah, and if you're the Suns, like honestly, what's better, Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, and that, or like OG Anunoby, Mitch Robinson, and Tyler Kolek or something? I'll take
none
depth.
of these teams are surprising, by the way.
But the Knicks don't have any picks is the issue. So
they traded all of them for Bridges.
I think the most interesting here, unironically, is the Spurs. If they can get away with it, like two picks, Devin Vassell, maybe Jeremy Sohan, a young player. You keep your pick in this year's draft. That might be the challenge.
That's what they're gonna want.
I know. Low key. Who's gonna be the lottery? Let me see this. NBA mock.
Be Washington, Charlotte.
No.
Okay.
What solid teams? Sorry. That's because you have my thought process. Let me sim the lottery, right? In this sim lottery, Sacramento got the first overall pick. I don't think KD is gonna want to play in Sacramento. But if you're talking about the best possible trade chip for a team, I don't think a team trade what team. I don't think a team's gonna trade Cooper Flagg for Kevin Durant. I think that would be a little silly. But if you get let's say Philly jumps up to 2. Do you trade something in 2 for Kevin Durant?
It would be Paul George.
Sure.
Right?
Do you do it?
Yeah. It's about where KD makes.
And if you're the Suns, you're like, all right, let's get fucking Ace Bailey or Dylan Harper to pair with Devin Booker.
Yes.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I do that if I'm both teams. Let's sim the lottery again. Let's say Philadelphia just got the first pick in this lottery sim, right? Philadelphia has 3. San Antonio has 4. You're telling me San Antonio wouldn't trade? Actually, they might not because they're so young. It would have to be Dallas jumps into the top 4. Boom. There you go. There's something that they'd probably be fucking interested in, right? It'd have to be New Orleans. If you're New Orleans, do you trade, try to make something work with KD, or do you just revert back to the I just think it'll be very interesting to see if a team jumps into the top whatever. Could that be a chip that they throw at the Suns? If they are the Spurs at 9 or OKC at 7.
Well,
OKC at 7.
Oh, you mean if they end up with the Sixers pick?
Because if Sixers isn't top 6, they get it.
Yes. I would KD back there would be fun.
You know what I'm saying? So I think the lottery is going to have a lot of impact on the KD trade market.
Did we talk about this on the show? I know I talked about it with Bobby yesterday. There's rumblings that Durant would take a minimum after this contract to play on a good team.
Where'd you hear that?
Well, Simmons said it, but I was talking to Bobby yesterday, but he said it as if there's stuff like this is a known thing online. It's not like he's source says this. But apparently Kevin Durant's guy that he does the podcast with was saying it or something very similar, according to Bobby K. Celtics. He unironically has been should have been on the Celtics 3 times now. Or could have very well been on the Celtics 3 times is a better way to put it. Could have been drafted here. That's kind of what everyone was hoping for in the lottery. And obviously they wanted Odin, but then They fall to 5. They don't get either one of them. They trade for the big 3, and it goes from there. Then 2016, the Celtics had a heavy chance of getting him when they sent Tom Brady to the Hamptons with Kelly Olynyk, and then the Derek White Jalen package they offered Brooklyn a couple years ago. Could have happened a bunch of times.
Imagine. Crazy to think about.
You think they still would have won? It's possible.
Maybe. There's no really telling. That'd be. I think they would regret it now, though. The trade. You would agree?
Yeah, I don't think it would feel great today.
No. Logan Murdoch of The Ringer also mentioned that KD is, quote, open to remaining with the Suns, will be eligible to sign a 2-year, $122 million. So who fucking knows what's happening? Whatever. Next NBA
Please
thing.
Don't give it to him.
Ja Morant, finger guns. There's not much to talk about with this. Ja Morant just keeps doing finger guns, even though the NBA is like, stop doing finger guns. And he's like, I'm going to keep doing finger guns. And there's two sides to this chat. The one side, it's literally they're asking you to do one thing, bro. Stop fucking doing it.
Yeah, it's a little funny.
The other side of it, a tweet that I saw, I'm going to paraphrase because I don't want to pull it up. It was, I didn't know what a gun was till Ja Morant made finger guns. Now I own an AK-47.
Yeah.
Like the ridiculousness of this is like, guys, this is not as bad as you think it is. Like, think LeBron's in Fortnite. Should we suspend him for being associated with guns? Do you know what I'm saying? You know, like, I know you're gonna make that joke, but like, it's kind of ridiculous. And I'll put it this way. This is what I've been saying and what I've been seeing. We're gonna suspend Ja X amount of games last year for the gun thing on Instagram. We're gonna make all this big deal, and Miles Bridges is just allowed to play in the NBA. You're picking the wrong fucking battles. It's so fucking stupid. So that's my take on the situation. I think it's dumb. Let them do the fucking
when you
thing.
Put it like that. It's so funny,
right? Crazy.
Even if like when you watch sports, you're one of the people you're like, I don't really care as long as like they play well. Like I don't really care, which like can't tell you how to feel. It is what it is. But when you put it in perspective that the NBA is actively punishing somebody for doing like finger guns or showing a gun on Instagram, and then you have somebody that's just like beat his wife playing games, it is very interesting. It's like, what are we doing here? Like Kevin Porter Jr. bouncing around here too. It's such a weird battle for them to pick.
Not kind of. It's embarrassing. It's an embarrassing thing.
I do wonder if those guys were bigger stars, if it would be made more of a fuss, or like the NBA feels like they can kind of get away with sweeping under the rug. Because like if you went and talked to a person on the street and said, "Hey, did you hear about Miles Bridges?" They'd be like, "No." But if you said, "Hey, did you hear about Ja?" They'd be like, "Yeah." Or like, there's a better chance that they would say, "Yeah."
Yeah, I know.
Ja's more like substantial of a figure, and people know him, and they don't want people to associate that with the NBA. Like that's the only thing I can think of. Like they actually are getting rewarded for people not really caring about them, but the people like us that know all the stuff and know all the tea and know all the different things going on. Yeah,
it's bad.
It is bad. It's bad.
Ridiculous. Last NBA thing. Basketball Hall of Fame class of 2025 has been announced. I will read it here. It is Sue Bird, Maya Moore, Sylvia Fowles, Billy Donovan, Mickey Arison, Ref Danny Crawford, and then the biggest two, Carmelo Anthony and Dwight Howard.
Well, Carmelo is no Maya Moore. Maya Moore.
You're right. Hey, my bad.
Who did one of the most remarkable things, quit basketball to like get somebody out of jail that was wrongfully convicted. Mm-hmm. That rocks.
And then married him, I think.
Well, even better.
Maybe I'm wrong about that. But
the Larry-less Carmelo makes it in. Not that he doesn't deserve to be in.
She did marry him. Shout out.
But I always feel like Carmelo is grossly overrated. Always. But
what people have been debating, what team should he be retired with?
Probably wherever he played more seasons.
You don't care where it is? There's no like, because I think it should just be New York. I think it should be the Knicks. I think he's more well associated with New York.
I feel that way too, but those teams were considerably worse. Like, I think the Melo Knicks
6.5 in New York, 7.5 in Denver.
Yeah, it's like almost split right down the middle. Like,
I saw someone say Syracuse and Team USA.
I mean, that's the only place he won.
Exactly.
Team USA is probably the best one.
Team
Because the
USA.
people that like Melo will be like the Olympics. And I was giving Bobby a hard time yesterday because I was just like, who cares? They're supposed to win the Olympics. Like, it's more of a story if Team USA actually doesn't win the gold. Like, that's what we would all talk about, not them winning.
You know, New York, he played in 21 playoff games in New York and then played in 11 in Portland.
Yeah, people think of those Knicks teams and think of like Melo was so awesome in New York, and statistically he was like good stats, bad team guy. But those teams did not win shit. He won one playoff series with the Knicks. It was against the Celtics, by the way, just in case you wanted to roast us.
Mm-hmm.
That was the only one.
I want to see who the snubs are. Mark Few.
Shout out to Dwight, by the way.
Dwight deserved. Shout out Dwight.
I like Dwight. I think
100%.
Dwight
Me
is
too.
like overhated, even though Bobby was telling me it because we had we did a Hall of Fame pod off air, chatting at the game. Obviously, he was like, I guess like teammates didn't like Dwight, so fair enough. If you knew Dwight and you didn't like him, how can I tell you how to feel?
Dwight should have been top 25.
Top 25
Or top
75.
75. Yeah. Some notable snubs that I'm seeing here. LaMarcus Aldridge did not get in first ballot. I'm not calling these snubs. I'm just saying these players were eligible in 2025. Apparently, this is just a list to see. Marc Gasol, eligible, did not get in. Let me see.
I feel like Marc Gasol deserves to be in.
I agree. DeMarcus Cousins.
DeMarcus Cousins is a weird one. Because DeMarcus Cousins had a really cool peak, but it didn't last long, and he was never on a good team. Like the Pelicans, when he got traded there, were good, but that was it. Oh, and he joined the Warriors.
And Joe Johnson did not get in.
Joe Johnson, huh?
Mm-hmm. Some other guys who have been eligible and are still not in. Amari Stoudemire, not in the Hall of Fame. Been eligible for 5 years.
I don't have a strong opinion on Amari.
Never been a finalist.
His peak might not have been long enough.
Never been a finalist is crazy, though, no?
Yeah, I think that is a little crazy.
In 5 years, never been a finalist. He is a 6-time All-Star, 5-time All-NBA. Average 21, 26, was hurt 1 year, 20, 25, 21, 23, 25.
Yeah. I think it's hard for us to look at guys the same way that we look at current players. Because
Kevin Johnson,
when Amari was playing, we weren't analyzing anything.
Yeah. True.
So we just only know like what we remember seeing on like Sports Center, like wherever we got our content.
Jakeem Noah was a finalist last year, not a finalist, but was eligible 2024. Did not get in.
He's on those back-to-back Florida teams, by the way.
That's what I'm saying. That's why it's in, because he was like 2-time All-Star, 3-time All-Defense, was a Defensive Player of the Year, was All-NBA, but he didn't have like an amazing NBA career. But those two Florida teams, like that's historic. Other guys, Mark Eaton, not in the Hall of Fame. Mark Price, not in the Hall of Fame, which I'm a little surprised at. I don't know outside of that. I'm just like looking at this list of like all snubs. Max, obviously. Maxwell, Cedric Maxwell.
Max isn't in, huh? Finals MVP, not in?
Not in.
Really?
Meta World Peace, not in. Glenn Rice, not in. Tyson Chandler, not in.
I think Tyson Chandler was like, if I had to compare him to like a current NBA big dude, probably, I don't know. There's not a lot of big guys that are like that, but like
I guess he's only 1-time All-Star.
He was a role player type guy.
Mm-hmm. Not in, that I'm kind of surprised not in. Maybe I'm just misremembering. Peja Stojakovic, not in the Hall of Fame. 3-time All-Star, 2011 champ, 1 All-NBA. Maybe not. I don't know. It's weird to decipher who should and who shouldn't.
You know,
Carmelo and Dwight deserve it.
The Peja thing is, and also Marc Gasol, by the way, is that the NBA, or not the NBA, the Basketball Hall of Fame has a whole wing dedicated to European guys. Like Tony Kukoc got in a few years ago in like the European wing. So like Marc Gasol, absolutely. Stojakovic, absolutely. That's a no-brainer. Maybe that doesn't work the same way as like the first ballot ones.
How many
do.
All-Star games did Marcus All make? Guess.
Probably like 1 or 0.
Three.
Not that many, but like he was still like a dog. And my favorite Raptors player ever.
Indeed. He was like unironically really good for that Lakers team in the 2020-2021 season before they like fell to shit or whatever happened. Anyways, Ratless Sam, what do you got for me?
Ratless the gloom. So Jack said it. I was outside today. One of the ladies' friends got engaged, so we had like a engagement party planned at a winery or a vineyard, whatever. And like that's all good and fun until it rains and it was cold. So we did have like a tent and we had little space heaters, but you're still cold after a while. So I think like if you guys watched the beginning of this pod and was like, damn, like Sam doesn't have anything. Like when Jack told me I was muted and my soul left my body, I just have been battling the cold today. And I am so tired compared to what I should be. And I just think the cold broke me, especially after yesterday was the nicest day of 2025.
Right?
Just to follow it up with the back-breaking cold is tough. So yeah, I'll Ratless that.
I was talking to somebody at like TD Garden yesterday, and it was just like, if you want to be cold, fine. If you want to be warm, fine. Just fucking pick one, man. Just pick one.
Yeah,
just
tell
pick
me
one.
what,
That's all I
tell me
need.
what to dress like.
So I can know to wear a jacket every day, or I can know to like I'm chilling with the t-shirt and bring my sweater. Just shit, man. Now it's supposed to rain for 3 days in a row. Do you know that? 3 days in a row. Rain.
Oh, they have they canceled the Red Sox game today, and then they did a doubleheader tomorrow. If that's gonna be cooked.
Ugh, awful. Just so awful, man. I'll rat list my schedule lately. I told Sam this, I think. Like I've been running around. So I went to Portland. There's nothing open. We got Taco Bell because that was literally the only thing open to eat because we were starving. Got next day, didn't eat because I was tired from that day and I woke up late. And so I went to the Celtics game, then got home, got McDonald's because I was hungry. And I was like, fuck, I don't have time to make anything. Next day, get up early or do a bunch of work. Don't have time to eat. Get Jersey Mike's, eat that. Great, fine, whatever.
That's
then
not a bad meal.
Go to Westchester. Leave that at like 11, have to stop somewhere, stop at Taco Bell again because like vegan options for Noah. And then I'm like hungry. I get home 4 a.m. and sorry for the graphic. I just throw up. Like I just feel like shit. Like genuinely feel so disgusting because I've been not ordering fast food lately. And that was like all I've been able to eat. So just fucking terrible.
What I will say about all that,
just Jesus,
is when you stop eating stuff like that's not really good for you, and then you eat it again, you're like, damn, like this isn't good. Like ice cream.
Oh no, it tastes great. In the moment,
no, it's not that. It like makes you feel bad. Like you physically don't feel good. Like I used to eat back when Jack and I started this, I was like, did not care what I ate. Like would play 2K and then like leave at 2 a.m, go get McDonald's and get like double quarter pounder, 20-piece, large fry, and a drink. And like I would have like a pint of Ben and Jerry's. Like I would just eat whatever. And like I wasn't like out of shape bad because I was still running and stuff, but like I wasn't in good shape. And then like I didn't eat ice cream for a while because I didn't like the way I would feel the morning after I ate it. And like I would be trying to go for a run. And then I would eat ice cream. I'd be like, holy shit, like this, I actually don't like this. This isn't fun.
Yeah. So I didn't love feeling like shit. I don't know what else there's to rat list. I'm so
rat
tired.
List is your GPS because I was heartbroken the other day when I was so excited to come to the garden and be like, what'd you think of driving through Rhode Island to get to Westchester? And you're like, I didn't go through Rhode Island.
I think I went through Rhode Island.
No, I don't think you did. I think you could take the Mass Pike and then go south to Connecticut and then go that way. But I was like, he just took 95 the whole way, went through Rhode Island. I was devastated to find out that wasn't the case.
Yeah, I don't know because I absolutely can. You're right, but I don't think I went through Providence, so I don't think I did.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't be surprised if you didn't.
Yeah, I think I just went right around it. Especially because I left through Cambridge, and so I was already up a little bit, and so I went up and around. Yeah, I think that's what happened.
Rat List is kind of me, but not really. It's just funny like thing that I like. You everybody has things that like you say it to someone and they're like you're weird. So I'm looking at apartments with the lady, and we went to this one building today, and this building overlooks the highway, so you can like look out the window from like where you'd be living. And I was like, be sick is like to just stand here once in a while and just look at traffic and just think about how upset everybody involved is, and you're just sitting there watching it from your home.
I'll never understand you. Truly,
you don't think that'd be sick? Just like looking and be like, sucks to be them. They make you feel good about yourself for like a minute. You just like look outside, you just see all the brake lights on. You're just like, yes, I'm at home.
You've got this thing for like other people's displeasure that I don't.
You guys shouldn't elect me president ever.
No.
Probably not a good person if that's how I feel. Just looking for everyone's misfortune.
I don't think I have anything else. I'm gonna go meet my friends for dinner, I think, or maybe make myself.
What do you guys have?
I don't know. They're out at like a restaurant, like a pub.
Oh, man.
So we'll see. But I don't got anything else. You got anything?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Get you to dinner.
Thank you. In that case, appreciate y'all for tuning in. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe to How About Them Celtics, and I will let Sam take it out.
Yeah, thank you very much for listening and watching. Make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell. We're here every single day, like we said at the top. New pods drop Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday, game recaps, and morning after each game. Other videos are on the channel in between to keep you up to date with all things Celtics. You can find the two of us streaming pregame live a half hour before tip-off. It's a ton of fun. Come hang out with the chat. Really good people in the chat. You can watch us lose at PrizePicks and play GeoGuessr. It's a lot of fun. You can also find the two of us on Spotify and Apple. All pods and recaps are up there. So if you just want the audio versions, go ahead, follow us. They'll go right to your feed. Leave a 5-star review. We'd appreciate that very, very much. And you can tell your friends. That would rock. You can also email us, hbtcpod@gmail.com. Shout out to everyone that did today. Shout out RJ. Shout out Philip. Shout out Jacob. Really good creative emails coming in from the fellas. hbtcpod@gmail.com. We always love to hear from you guys. You can follow us on socials at How About Them C's for Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Facebook's the name of the podcast. All streams are there. They're on YouTube. They're on Twitter. Jack's Twitter is Jackson1NBA. His TikTok is at Jackson1NBA. He's putting out good content there all the time. You can follow me on Twitter at Sam LaFrance NBA. That's it for us. Bye.